I ordered coffee, right? Now, we've been here a long fucking time. She's only filled my cup 3 times. I mean, when I order coffee, I want it filled 6 times.
6 times? Well, what if she's too fucking busy?
Words too fucking busy shouldn't be in a waitress's vocabulary.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the channel where we talk about the laws of mind and how they affect our lives because they're principle. And today, we're going to talk about tipping because a lot of people don't seem to understand tipping in the United States. They seem shocked, by this extra layer of tipping. And they get upset and say, you should just put it all in one, add it to the price. No, that's automatically assuming, that you're going to get the best service from the server. And it's a contract. They're an independent, The company is paying this independent person to serve and to wait on the customer, wait on the table. So we're going to begin with this because there's a lot of confusion about, tipping Uber drivers or tipping this and that, and that's deliberate. They tweeze it all out, and now they want you to tip for every little thing. No, let's get this straight. So for a restaurant, they have, to the best of their ability, put together the best food and the best atmosphere for that food and drink to be served. They have the best cooks. They have the best bartenders employed by the restaurant to do this. And they get paid minimum wage or more, depending on the role they play in there. They work for corporation. They work for the owner. And then there are the servers, and the waiters. So sometimes some places pool the tips together and spread them out across everyone. And this is not right because not everyone works for it. The server's work is to take the food and serve it to the customer. So if you go to a fast food restaurant, there's no reason to tip because they forgave that. They gave that up. And you are serving yourself by going up there, ordering, and going to get the food when it's ready and taking it back to the table if they provide a place for you to sit down and eat. There are no waiters. They get paid minimum wage. At other restaurants, it's how much service are you getting? My father would straight up tell someone new who was waiting on him and said, let me explain to you how this works. You keep it filled. When you see it's half full, I expect you to be bringing me another one. If I have to do this, which was his signal, bring me another one, then, we got problems. That's not service. And you just keep them coming until I tell you no more. I'm paying for this bill. Therefore, you are to look to no one but me as concerns that. And, usually they were young, yes, sir. And they quickly learned, a smile. They learned his name. Frank, come on. I got your table right here, And they knew they would take good care of Frank and that Frank would take good care of them. And no one's judging anyone. The other one just said, this is what I like. You provide this kind of service to me for this restaurant, and I guarantee you I will always look for you first. And that's how it works. They're independent contractors. They get the tip from the customer. They keep it. They get a very small wage. It's not even minimum wage to show up, do the minimum of what the company expects that serving to be, which they are trained on, and then it's carrying it from the kitchen, counter that they have up there to the table. The service and everything else is up to the waiter. Okay, and now the waiter turns to the server. He takes the order, he makes sure it's all right. So if your order is messed up, that's the waiter. It's not the server. The server makes sure that your salad comes to you quickly, that your drinks are always full, that you've gotten your drinks. He's keeping an eye on you. He's asking if you're comfortable. Is there anything he can get you? If he sees you looking up and looking around, he's paying attention to you. How much attention is he giving you? This is what I mean by, it's all spiritual. It's not rocket science. How do you think? This man is earning his tip, his pay through his service. If he does not provide good service according to the customer, then he does not get tipped well. The food is still good. The restaurant still gets paid. If there's a problem with the food, then you go to the waiter, and the waiter gets it comped. It's not the server's fault. Okay. If there's really a problem. For example, my husband and I were at a restaurant, and I had ordered guacamole, and they brought it on a plate. It was very beautiful, and I looked down, and there's a fly struggling in the middle of my guacamole. And my husband calls the waiter over, and he comes and he just looked down at it, and he looks at me, "Excuse me?" And I'm like, "There's a fly. He's alive." He says, "Oh my God." We didn't really say a word, He picks it up, he takes it, he brings me another one, he compts our meal, and we still left a tip because they were very kind and provided great service. The server did a wonderful job. He made sure I had my iced tea. He made sure my husband had the beer he wanted. It's all good. He made sure that we had everything. We had extra chips, extra salsa, because of what happened. He had to work overtime on a meal that got comped. And usually it's, how much was your meal? And then 15-20% of that is the tip, if they were very good. It goes down from there. And sometimes you don't get a tip. And today we have all these delivery drivers. Now remember, they're not delivering for free anymore. They're just delivering. That's what they do. And they can be nice about it or not, That's up to them. But they get your food there piping hot, or they don't. And if they don't, then there's no tip. And he goes back to management and says, "I got no tips. You're not being nice. No, you're giving me food that's, too much to deliver, and I'm delivering it cold. I'm going to take 3 pizzas at a time now." And he can bitch all he wants. I'm getting tipped. If you don't like that, fire me. I was looking for a job the day I got this one. And this is, you didn't want to offer the free delivery. Okay, so now the customer is paying for a pizza, is paying a delivery charge, all right, and then here comes Uber. Now the customer has hired Uber to bring its food. They've outsourced the delivery. Okay, they don't want to deal with the delivery boy anymore. That guy is not part of their organization anymore. There's a new organization. And they bring it to you, and delivery ain't free anymore. So now, Mr. Uber, did you get my food here hot and on time? If it took you an hour to deliver something that I know is 10 minutes away, then yeah, no. You have to judge these things. You have to discern. Okay, you're the Christ. All right, you don't take pity on them because they got a family. oh, well, you weren't providing good service. All right. And you don't say anything. You just don't tip them. That says it all. Okay. It's not my problem. I know you're getting a base pay from the restaurant to deliver the food. And this is just understanding business. Okay. Y'all made a contract. I got outsourced. You're the independent contractor, and you should be tipped if you're a server or a waiter or any of those things. And it's extra. Not all are equal. Some are really good and some are not. All right. And even though my husband dislikes waiters who come up and touch him, he still tips them well. But he tells them, buddy, you're great. We really like you. But if you don't mind, please don't, touch me. And his point is you're not part of this unit, but you are, and I appreciate and admire and respect you, but there needs to be some distance between the two of us. This is not a, we know each other thing. You're an acquaintance and you seem to be a very wonderful person. You serve us well, we will tip you. And it's just him laying down what he prefers. There's nothing mean about it. This is how you're going to get tipped even better, by showing him that you did listen and he's always been fair and tipped me anyway. It's going to be great. So, and that's how that works. As far as Uber drivers, they took on the tough role of delivery. Okay. And now you have to judge how you're receiving your food. They agreed to do it. You're supposed to get it, looking good, smelling good, hot, ready to go to eat. So that's up to you to decide. And you only give the money to the one who's serving. The rest of them aren't doing it. You don't get to take everybody's, pull it together and hand it out. No. If you appreciate the kind of wonderful smile the hostess gives and the people she sits at your table, you'll share your tips with her. And that's what that's about. You don't get to take them on and say, I'm going to force you to share. You just piss people off with that. And they won't work for you because now you're not being right. If the person's doing the work, they're an independent contractor, then they get the tip. And the bartender is in the unique position of kind of being in both. So he usually makes a higher wage, but he also gets tips. There's a tip jar. Did I entertain you? Did I get your drink to you right? Did you like it just right? And, he remembers people's favorites and he has it ready for them when they come. That kind of thing. Are you providing that special touch? That you have paid attention to your customers, you remember their names, you remember their likes and their dislikes, and you do it. The kitchen staff are told this. They don't know. They're in the mundane task of making it happen. Okay, they're loving, they're cooking, they're busy cooking. You tell them what to cook, I'll cook it. This is what it's about. It's this beautiful unit working together, and the manager's there, and oh, okay, here they come. Here come the ones who always try to get out of paying for the meal. Okay. They create a pattern, all right? And usually a good manager, will see them and go to the waiter and say, I'm taking over this table. Don't you worry about it. Oh, thank you. Because the waiter knows, if you start to try to talk bad about him, a good manager will say, I know all about these guys. Don't worry about it. There's a really good table up there. Seems like really great people. Why don't you get on them? Okay. And tell Mary I gave you that tip. So they got that going, because he decides who gets what section, what area, how many tables they get. Okay. And now the manager walks up and says, hi. And they say hi, and they make their order, and then they yell when they receive their order. And a good manager will come up and go, I made that salad myself. I can't believe, that, it's a mess like that. I'm so sorry. Let me take that. Let me get you something. Would you like a sandwich? Well, yeah. Great. Allow me to bring you a sandwich to make up for this. Okay. And he's offering the food before they can make a stink. And by the end of it, they're paying for the meal. Okay. And they're not tipping well because they came in to get a free meal, but they used the money they had to pay for the meal because this guy took the extra time to, cater to them, even though they weren't being sincere when they first came in. In the face of his goodness, his kindness, his mercy, his good humor, his intelligence, it turns them right around. And they pay. Now, they may never come back again because they really went in there to do nefarious things. It's up to them. But he's changed them while he's in charge. This is my restaurant. I have the best staff in the world. They make everything run smooth as clockwork. I love my job. Can it be tedious? Can it be, hairy carry sometimes? Well, yeah. It wouldn't be any fun if it wasn't. And I love being in the same boat with all these guys because they're great. They're great. This is the story of tipping and how it works in America. And unfortunately, you got a lot of people, when you become one world, you got an entire world that's used to cheating on each other and scamming on each other and taking from one to give to another. And that's Europe with the, just round it up and that's it, put the tax in there. No, you're responsible. It's your tax money. You should know how much you're giving the government. Okay. Are they spending it wisely? You're the boss. This is taking responsibility as an individual in a democracy. Okay. You be responsible. Now, just because something expensive doesn't mean it's good quality or fine. That used to be the case, but it's not the case anymore. The reason being it's flip-flopped. People came to love Nike. They did a great product. They had these inspiring people speaking about being inspiring in what they do, and not necessarily endorsing Nike, but they work together. At Nike, we like to think we're like Michael Jordan, and we put in good quality and all that other stuff, put in the hours, put in the work. And it was true. It was wonderful, but then when you outsource it to a place like China, where now it's being made out of cheap materials, it's mundane work. These people could care less about what they're making. Now, they can't help that, okay? It's mundane work. So now it comes out a cheap, shitty product, and Nike's got its name all over it. Okay, and they're charging more than before when it was actually made with care. Okay, if they don't care, why should you? You don't keep buying Nike. You sure don't buy their shirts and give them free advertisement, and hats, and all that other stuff. I mean, that's just plain old ridiculous. What's so great about them? Right? This is how you judge. He pays you money, he makes your choice. God is the means to the end. And this manifests as money. Okay? And if you have a good relationship with God, you have lots of money. And if you have too much money, it's out of balance. And If you have too little money, it's out of balance. It must be balanced, harmonized. That's what harmony is. Balance, being synced. Okay, so you're out of sync. Synchronicity. You need to get back in sync. Okay, and that is seeing everyone through the eyes of God, seeing everyone through principle. Yes, you can think Americans are brash and rude and loud and all that other stuff. That's fine. They don't give a shit. Okay, they don't. They're not trying to please you. They're trying to please themselves. Okay, thank you very much. They do the best they can, and they do what any man would do in any circumstance, try to help another, you know, in times of tough. And you don't take advantage of that. Because when you do, there's hell to pay. So this is why people get all this confusion about how do you tip, add a tip. You don't tip machines. If you're checking yourself out, if you're bagging your own groceries, no, there is no tip. Okay, and there's no tips at fast food, period. From before. You certainly don't start tipping them now. Okay, my Lord, really. It's about service. Are they serving? They don't deserve anything. They have to serve to be served. Hope this helps. Blessings to you. And thank you. Thank you for being you.
Now, tell me, what's your pleasure? A la carte? Dinner? Uh-huh. Okay. Hey, Joe. Butcher, he says he wants 2 spaghetti a speciale, heavy on a meatball.
Tony, dogs don't talk.
He's talking to me.
Okay, he's talking to you. You the boss. Mamma mia, mangiare che avere siti.
Now, here you are, the best spaghetti in town.